Hello, warriors. Welcome to the You Movement. I am B, and I'm just out at my local park in between some clients that I had today, grounding some energies because, that seesaw effect is still going on majorly. It's up, down energy. I don't know if you're experiencing the same. Let me know. I wanted to just hop on a little bit and talk about loss and grief, because on this spiritual awakening path, on this twin flame journey, on your healing journey, whatever kind of journey you happen to be on, there is going to be loss. And that's for multiple reasons, primarily because as you change, your frequency changes and you no longer resonate with the same people or the same jobs or the same situations. And it's overwhelming to somebody that has experienced a lot of trauma in their life, because when you come from a background with abandonment wounds, and many of us do, and that doesn't just mean, you've gone through an adoption like I did at an older age, 2.5. It could mean that you felt abandoned because your parents weren't able to provide for you emotionally, and there was an element of neglect, or there was a divorce, or any number of situations could have happened that could leave you with an abandonment wound. And when you have an abandonment wound, you go through life with holding on to people a lot more tightly than I suppose others might. If you have like a secure attachment style, then people can come and people can go, and it's no biggie for you. But when you have the abandonment wound that you're carrying with you, when you meet somebody that you resonate with, you hold on to them and you place them in very high regard, almost to a point of placing them on a pedestal, perhaps, when you feel that type of connection to somebody. And letting people go when you no longer resonate with them, it is exceptionally difficult to do. For example, drinking is a behavior that a lot of people in past versions of themselves participate in, or maybe it's something you still participate in. And when you quit drinking, you can't keep going to the pub and hanging with the same people. Like, it just doesn't work, because you're placing yourself in temptation over and over and over again. And that same type of analogy can be placed on any type of situation of something that you quit, whether it be a physical substance or a way of thinking or a way of behaving or self-sabotaging, or your way you treat yourself, and trauma responses. So when you heal something, that means not only letting go of a past version of you, it means letting go of all the attachments that come with that past version of you. And that includes all the people, the places, and the situations that you would have normally done. So making a small change in your life can have a huge ripple effect out into so many other areas of your life that you may not be prepared for. And losing people has been one of my main struggles in life, and there's been certainly a lot of grief on this awakening path, because the more I work on self and the more I've given up, the more all of those that are around me that resonate in that same energy no longer fit. I've given up alcohol, I've given up smoking, I've given up pot, I've given up pharmaceuticals, I've given up people, marriage, I've given up friendships that no longer worked for me because they weren't meeting me on a reciprocal energy. And allowing yourself time to grieve those losses is really important. And it's not easy to do because you're like, oh, why am I back in this energy again? And why am I crying again? And why am I this again? And especially on the twin flame journey, geez, there's a lot of grief associated with that. But you have to let go. And practicing letting go when you have trauma and when you have abandonment wounds is something that you're going to be challenged to do over and over and over again. Letting go of what was, letting go of who you were in that unhealed state as you moved into a more healed version of yourself. And as I said yesterday, there is no healed. So there's more healed, but there's no healed. There's no like you've made it, because there's always something else. And these ripples that head out, it's like the butterfly effect, where a butterfly flaps its wings in the Amazon and there's a tsunami in Japan or something. I can't quite remember how that expression goes, but you know what I'm saying. So today I woke up in grief again, and I was like, oh, here we are. And instead of doing what my older version of me would have done, which would have been like, okay, I'm just going to push through this. I'm going to get up. I'm going to make myself coffee. I gave up coffee, so I don't have that anymore anyways. But I'm going to make myself an herbal tea. And I'm going to go clean something, and I'm going to distract myself by doing. Instead, I just let myself be in that energy and just show myself compassion and show myself care for the people that I had lost on the path and no longer could walk alongside me. And it's sad. It is sad, but you have to allow the emotions. You absolutely have to allow the tears. So one of the tools that I did that I have been using a lot lately is self-affirmation work. And on your phone, if you have a voice recorder app, make yourself an app with a mantra or a voice recording of an affirmation, that's something that you're needing to hear, so you can comfort that inner child that's inside of you. And just put it on auto repeat, and around it goes. And whether it be, I'm so sorry, or I love you, or it's all going to be okay, this too shall pass. All of those are great ones. I think I have all of those in different affirmations. And then I just held myself, use physical touch, use the power of self-soothing to give nurturance to that inner child that's been activated through grief and through loss. We kind of reserve our physical touches for somebody else, as if the only time that we should be touched is if somebody else can touch us for us. And so we get ourselves into perhaps relationships simply because I want to be held, instead of learning to self-soothe and comfort. And it's not quite the same thing. I'll give you that. But on this quest of relationship with self, which I started at the beginning of this year, is to really have a relationship with me. There's no one else around to do it except for my cat now and again, and that's on her terms. And so learning to self-soothe, to stroke yourself, to rub your arms, to rub your legs, to hold yourself in an embrace, is a huge component on learning to reparent that lost, lonely inner child and give her the time, or him, the time that they need, and the affection that they need, and the nurturing that they need, so that you can heal those original wounds, whether they be abandonment or neglect or betrayal, and sit in the energy. Actually schedule yourself certain amounts of time to sit in the energy of the feeling that you're feeling. Make it an hour, make it half an hour, make it 25 minutes if that's all you have time for, to just allow. Say to yourself, I'm going to allow myself to feel in the next hour this grief, and because in feeling it, you're transmuting it. If you quickly hop up and make yourself that hot drink and get about but busying yourself into doing, then you're just storing that grief and not letting it release. Another tool that I used this morning was some breath work. I think it's Breath with Sandy. I'll put the link for that in the description below for helping to let go. And I love breath work. Absolutely love breath work, because it gets in and shifts the energy. It moves the energy around, because you need to move the energy to release it. And whether that's through physical movement of aligned walking or yin yoga or somatic release or breath work, any of the above are very powerful healing techniques to help you shift whatever emotions you're stuck in, so that you can let go, so that you can move on and say goodbye to that past version of yourself, and say goodbye to those people that you loved. Maybe your paths will cross again in the future, maybe they won't. Who knows what awaits you? But the more you clear out and the more you make room for, the more there is for unknown possibility to befall you. And so today I'm sitting in the energy of releasing, letting go, mourning what was, and more to the point, letting it go so that I can make space for something new, something unknown. Unknown people, unknown potentials, unknown situations, unknown possibilities. For people that have complex post-traumatic stress disorder or PTSD, the unknown can be terrifying. I've done videos on that in the past. I'm allowing myself the possibility that the unknown could be beautiful. The unknown could be magical. The unknown could be magnificent, because I'm new. So whatever comes in is going to be new now too. And I'm excited. There's a hint of excitement in that as well. So with that said, I want to send everybody lots of love, especially if you're dealing with grief and dealing with loss and dealing with feeling isolated and alone for a period of time. We did make a pledge. If you didn't make the pledge, go back to the video on the 1st of January of this year, which was the pledge to self, to really heal and connect with self, so that we don't have the same, we can't possibly attract in the same of what was, when we ourselves are not the same as who we once were. So say goodbye to the past versions of you and open yourself to untold possibility. Peace out.